Welcome to the OK Let's Learn podcast. This is two podcasts in one. One where we dive into tons of great stories and books, and another where we just dive into tons of great, interesting topics. My name is Kevin O'Keefe. So today, OK, let's learn and read our second episode of Book 7, Every Living Thing. This book is a short story collection written by Cynthia Rylant. Every story, 5 to 6 pages, that's it. But everyone carries a huge emotional punch. It's about a different pet in each story making the difference in a human being's life. And this one right from the beginning. Talk about a book. A simple book, like I said, each story 5 to 6 pages, and every single word matters. Every single word makes an effect. And I have the words and the sentences underlined. There's no better place to teach how to write well, how to use great figurative language than this book. A Bad Road for Cats. This is how it starts. Quote, Louis, where are you? Quote, the woman called it out again and again as she walked along Route 6. A bad road for cats, unquote. Right away, 4 sentences, you know exactly what the whole story is about. And I love the fact that the author repeated the title of the story in that 4th sentence. It's so clear what is about to happen. And as we enter the 3rd paragraph now, she stops at a Shell station. You don't need to say gas station. You know it's a gas station. And she strides up to the young man at the register. Quote, her eyes snapped black and fiery as she spit the question at him. Have you seen a cat? The word cat came out as hard as a rock. I mean, right away, 2 comments on this. You're trying to describe a scene. You're trying to describe someone's feelings. You're trying to describe how exactly someone is speaking. And when you're doing this, what you're trying to say is, yeah, your eyes squinted and you're angry. But there's more effective ways of doing this. And Cynthia is brilliant. Her eyes snapped. How did they snap? Black and fiery. And she's angry. And she raised her voice. But no. How do you write this? She spit the question at him. And for my younger members of the audience that are just starting to write and write well and figure out how to write well, well, think about it. When you're so angry that you want to yell out something and the words don't come out, it's so quick and so fierce and so really, you're upset and you're angry, you can't even get the words out. So when you can't do that, what are you actually doing? You're spitting the words out. That's when you're angry. So she proceeds to ask the man behind the cash register, in this case, it's a young man, as she explained, and, quote, the woman's eyes pinched his, unquote. Another way of saying, yeah, I need this information. Quote, I lost my cat, orange and white. If you see him, you be more careful of him than that dog. This is a bad road for cats, unquote. And then the author writes, she marched toward the door. Again, so simple. She didn't leave. She marched toward the door. You're marching. You're upset. Again, you are determined. You are going forward, and you're not letting anything get in your way. Quote, I'll be back, she said, like a threat. And the young man straightened up again as she went out, unquote. She proceeds to continue looking for her cat. And I tell you this, we are not even into the end of the first page. And this is what the author does, again, that I teach so often. I sound like a broken record, but she's now going to introduce who this lady is. In case you haven't already figured out her personality, which we have, the author writes, quote, "She was a very tall woman and skinny. Her black hair was long and shiny like an Indian's. She might have been a Cherokee making her way alongside the river, alert and watchful, tracking," unquote. Brief, to the point, lots of information. What did the author do? It gave you a physical description of how she looks: tall, thin. We know about her hair now. It's long, it's shiny, and yes, further details on who she is as a person. She's alert and she's watchful, and she's just not looking, she's tracking. Again, no wasted words. Such a fantastic beginning to the story. So what ultimately happens? She describes Route 6, quote, "a nasty road smelling of diesel and rubber." Not a dangerous road. Understand this. Dangerous just gives the impression that, yes, it's not safe for the cat, but it's a nasty road. Nasty means, yes, dangerous, but it also references how horrible it is with all these truckers going by and the soot and the smell and the pollution. So effective. We go on and we learn that the woman's name is Magda, Magda. And again, listen to this one, quote, "She had a disdain for the ugliness of belching machines and concrete," unquote. I have so many sentences and so many words underlined here. Belching machines? This is a car. It's not human. But when you take something that's not human and you give it a human quality, this is personification. This is figurative language. And sure, belching machines. I mean, think about it. It just works so well. Are you going to write burping machines? No, it just doesn't sound right. And this comes with experience. This comes with reading so often and so many years, and what really can stick and be meaningful: belching machines. So if you haven't already gotten the sense here, go out and buy this book, read it for yourself. You'll get the true essence of what every story will tell you. But just know, as we go forward, we're learning in this story about Magda the fact that she was by herself. She was widowed. Her husband had passed away. She didn't have any children. So she took Louis in. And now Louis was gone. She was looking for Louis. And she has this flashback of the day that she found Louis. And look at this. It's as if the same situation happened, and yet the author writes it in the same but different way. She's asking the guy behind the cash register again where this cat came from, why its tail was cut off. Magda's, quote, "Magda's face had blazed as she turned and stalked out the door with the kitten," unquote. Not marching, but stalking. Not spitting, but blazed. So as the story continues, she's out on Route 6, going up and down the road, looking and looking for Louis, and she stops off. And again, this is a clue as to the fact that this is not happening now. This is happening years ago. It's not happening in your typical suburban neighborhood. It's happening way out in the middle of nowhere in a typical rural setting on a highway. And why do we know this? Because listen to this. The author writes, Magda, quote, "Magda saw a dairy bar up ahead," unquote. No, this is not a term that's used today for any local 7-Eleven or any kind of road stop, gas station, convenience store, but it was used over 100 years ago, actually through the 20s into the mid-50s, because they were farms and they sold their excess milk, they sold ice cream. So this was a place to stop off the road and have a rest. And this is what Magna did. She had been looking and looking all day long. And I will tell you this up front. What you're about to hear is one of the best lines I've ever read that any author has ever written. It is so simple, but just makes such a huge impact. Quote, Magna thought that she would stop and rest. She would have some coffee and a slice of quiet away from the road, unquote. A slice of quiet? Are you kidding me? So easy, just a few words, but so effective, so emotional. You can sense how Magna is feeling, and it works just so well. I mean, just to finish this point, why does it work so well? Because you're getting some coffee and a slice before you read the word. You're getting some coffee and a slice of bread. And as a matter of fact, the author could have easily written, got some coffee, slice of bread, and some quiet away from the road. That's what makes what she put together so simple, but so brilliant. Get rid of the bread and just write the slice of quiet. So as we go forward, Magna's sitting here at this dairy bar, thinking back over how much she loved Lewis, what they used to do together, and then all of a sudden she sees in the window, listen to this, it's written, the number 4, SAL, period, all capital letters, CAT, for Sol Cat. Immediately you pick up, this is someone that can't spell, this is someone that's not educated. This is someone, again, you go forward in a rural community and you can make some further inferences, but you can assume maybe this is someone that doesn't have a lot of money. So, quote, Magna caught her breath. She moved up to the window and now she goes again to the person at the cash register, the person behind the counter. And it was a girl this time. Quote, Are you selling a cat? She said quietly, but hard on cat, unquote. The girl goes on to say, nope, it's not me, it's this boy up the street. And now what proceeds to happen as we go through the end of the story is Magna knocks on this door. This 15-year-old boy appears. The author relays that he's got a mouth of rotten and missing teeth. And, quote, Magna felt a chill move over her. The cat, she repeated. You have one to sell? Is it orange and white? The boy stopped grinning. Without a word, he slammed the door in Magna's face, unquote. Are you kidding me? Magna is incensed. Magna knocks again, no answer. And she's thinking, what is going on? What kind of boy is this? She knocks twice, 3 times, and finally she goes to knock again, and he shows up right there in the door, and he's holding Lewis. As the author relays, he's standing there, and his eyes are full of tears, his, quote, mouth twisted in sad protest. Magna doesn't know what to do. She offers first $1, then $3, and then finally, out of desperation, she pulls out a $20 bill, screams, enough! The boy grabbed all the bills with one hand and, as the author writes, shoved Lewis at Magna with the other. Immediately, you have learned in just a few paragraphs what is happening here. You have a boy that clearly wants a pet, wants this cat, but is clear based on the fact that he wasn't taking care of it. He's barely taking care of himself. And that's what we realize in this moment, that he needs somebody, he needs love, he needs a better life, but yet he takes the money. And as the story wraps up, Lewis now is back with Magna, he's healthy, and Magna starts thinking about the boy. She was so angry at him in the moment when she found Lewis. She has to pay for her own cat. But yet she felt sorry for the boy, as the author wrote, quote, remembering his tears. So as the story wraps up, she ends up making a stuffed animal that looks just like Lewis. And this is how you know it's so effective and such great writing. The author doesn't wrap up the story by telling you the whole theme, by telling you everything that you need to take from this story. The author simply writes what Magna did. Quote, "She put the gift in a paper bag, and on her way to the grocery one day, she dropped the bag in front of the boy's yellow house." As I read those final few words, I just pulled the book down to my waist. My students didn't say a thing. Without them saying anything, I knew that they were saying everything about understanding this whole story. The great part about what I do is I have second graders. They're 7 and 8 years old. They're now moving beyond, and everyone lived happily ever after. They're now moving on to understanding great literature, great stories, great writing. And I really can't think of a better story. And trust me, there's other great stories here in this book, which we will continue on. Every living thing. This was a bad road for cats, but this was not a bad story. This was an uplifting story. It was a thrilling story. It was an edge-of-your-seat story. A well-written story. Friends, thanks for staying with me on this journey, analyzing and going through this fantastic short story, Every Living Thing, The Bad Road for Cats. Reach out to me at kevmok21@gmail.com. We have a Facebook group called OK Let's Learn, and we are on YouTube. So subscribe, follow, tell your friends, your family, anyone that loves to learn, loves being curious, and loves great writing and great stories. Until next time, have fun and keep learning.